This video is sponsored by PokedownStore.com, the best place for you to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that specific code card to complete your deck or just to open up some packs? They have it all. From Darkness Ablaze, Champions Pads, you name it. Look at the huge variety that they offer. Also, this video is sponsored by cardmarket.com. This is a platform I personally use every day, and this is for European players to purchase and sell cards all across Europe, and they have lots of good stuff on here. You can actually open up an account and start selling yourself or buy a fantastic amount of products from people all across Europe. So definitely check out both of my sponsors, PokedownStore.com as well as Card Market. And as a little addition, if you go to Pokedown Store, you can use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% of your next order. So definitely do so. You'll help me out a ton. What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here and welcome back to our TCG deck profile video. Today we're going to be looking at Cramorant. I know this is not a tier 1 or not even a tier 2 archetype, but it's a very fun deck that could actually work out if you're in the correct meta. Let's say you're facing off in a meta with lots of fire types out there, Green Zard list, Mewtwo with the Reshizard, and they start with Reshizard, Sentiscorch, etc. You're gonna have an awesome time because Cramorant is able to dish out a huge amount of damage, and you also hit for weakness against fire type Pokemon. By popular demand, we are checking out the new archetypes that came out of the Vivid Voltage chat. Actually, Vivid Voltage comes out in 2 weeks time. We're gonna be opening up some pre-release packs very shortly on the channel. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any Vivid Voltage action. So what can we see that this specific list is using is 4 copies of the Cramorant. This Cramorant for a twin energy can actually slap 60 damage for every Arrakuda you are willing to discard from your bench. So you don't have to select all of them. You can just select 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. The maximum damage output actually becomes 240 damage. That is actually quite a lot because that one-shots every Pokemon V that is not a V max just yet, which is very, very nice. And also hits the numbers perfectly to actually go for like a 2-shot. You can go for 240 and then the following turn you can go for 120. But the better option is to, of course, use the evolution of Arrakuda, Barraskewda actually, which is having an attack for 1 water type energy. If you guys are familiar with Esper during the days of Malamar Giratina, Spell Tag Giratina, if you remember that, this Barraskewda can actually do the exact same thing for a water energy. It actually slaps 20 damage for every damage counter on a specific type of Pokemon. So you can actually have a little bit of sniping going around with Barraskewda, which I do enjoy a lot. So by testing, I actually noticed that sometimes you can also attack with the Golisopod. I've included a 2-1 line of Golisopod. Why not a bigger line? That's because we're running 4 copies of Ordinary Rod. Because you might understand when you're using Cramorant, you just attach a twin energy and you go on the offensive. You discard mostly all of your Arrakuda. So that is very bad, so you want to shuffle those back in the deck. There's also another way to get them back with, of course, Nessa. Nessa can get yourself any combination of water type Pokemon and water type energies from the discard pile immediately to your hand. That's 4 of them. So technically you can get 4 Arrakuda instantly with Nessa. The reason why we're not running 4 Nessa is that I'm a little bit skeptical on the fact that you're gonna be using Nessa because sometimes you want to dig for twin energy. So I'm a bigger fan of using the Ordinary Rod and then Research. The lower your deck space is, the higher the chance of you drawing into your Arrakuda once again. And seeing as we're running 4 Quick Ball and 4 Great Ball, we shouldn't have any troubles finding them once again. I'm also a big fan of using Oricorio GX. Let's say they knock out your Cramorant, you can draw 3 cards. So in combination with Ordinary Rod and the Great Ball and the Quick Ball and the Oricorio with the Dance to draw yourself some cards, you're definitely going to be drawing into your Arrakuda once again. So the maximum damage output is 240, but the better plan, if you don't get the 1-hit KO on a VMAX, the better plan is just using the attack for 120. So you discard 2 Arrakuda. You remain like you keep 2 Arrakudas left on your bench so they can evolve, either one of them. So you start 120, And then the following turn, you evolve one of your Arrakuda, attach your water energy, and you can actually go for that sniping attack of the Barraskewda. And the Barraskewda is going to be slapping 240 on a specific Pokemon. That's also the reason why we're not running a huge amount of Boss's Orders. I am a fan of running Pokemon Catcher. Sometimes that could be a very winnable, game-changing scenario, because if you get heads on a Pokemon Catcher, you can knock out a Dedenne quite easily with, of course, the attack of Cramorant, or knocking out a Crobat. If you discard 3 of your Arrakuda, you slap 180, which is the perfect number, knocking out Crobat, knocking out Eldegoss, knocking out Dedenne. So these bench hitters, we can take advantage of that. We have 3 Pokemon Catchers, so with the addition of like using Dedenne GX ourselves, we are digging deeply into the deck to find ourselves our Arrakuda. So for one attachment, you slap 240 damage as a maximum. So you might think, that's not enough. Well, that's where Giant Bomb comes into play. So you equip your Giant Bombs onto your Cramorants, and then if they get knocked out, if the opponent doesn't find a Boss's Orders and they slap into you, either they pass, that they don't want the damage counters on themselves, but if they slap 180 damage or more, they actually get slapped with 10 damage counters, and that does work out in a lot of archetypes that just dish out that amount of damage. This is a list that has a lot of bit of hard times against ADPization, but every one price deck has that issue. So for that matter, imagine like an ADP, it slaps into you and they actually get a Giant Bomb onto themselves. Then they only have 180 HP remaining, and you can finish them off with a Cramorant. Same scenario for an Eternatus. Let's say Eternatus goes wild, has a lot of bench Pokemon, they knock you out, and the Giant Bomb activates. Then they get 10 damage, and the remaining of HP of an Eternatus VMAX becomes 240, and that means we can one-hit KO that afterwards. So that's what I enjoy about this list. What else can we say is, like, if the opponent goes crazy on GXs and V Pokemon, Golisopod is also a very nice sufficient attacker with Twin Energy. Another Pokemon you might want to include in here is something like Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan can also dish out 120 damage, and you don't have to discard your Arrakuda with that. Sometimes that can be a game-changing scenario because people will use Baby Volcanion. Of course, Volcanion has 120 HP, so that could be a way you can have a little bit of a nice answer. Also against stuff like Baby Blacephalon. The good news about that specific matchup is that you only need to discard 1 Arrakuda, and they will need to discard 3 energies to KO your Cramorant, because that 110 actually gives you a little bit of an edge in the matchup because they need more energies to knock you out. And also we have sniping capabilities with Barraskewda. If they try to retreat, for instance, if you get damage onto a VMAX and they decide, oh, I'm going to retreat to the bench, no problem, we have Pokemon Catcher, or we can snipe it off with Barraskewda. So that's the main idea about this. What else is new in this list is the new amazing rare Jirachi. This Jirachi has the ability that once during your turn, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, select one in your hand, and the other one goes back to the top of the deck. So you can dig a little bit deeper into the deck and find puzzle pieces. I do recommend shuffling your deck afterwards with some cards like a Quick Ball or whatever. That means that you can use amazing rare Jirachi, and then your odds the following turn will be even better because you can select 2 of the. Just look at the top 2 and select 1. That is very, very crucial because you want to be finding your Arrakuda. Either you find a Quick Ball or an Arrakuda, it doesn't matter. Jirachi is going to be nice. Could also, the reason why we're not running Jirachi from Team Up is that Jirachi from Team Up requires a lot of switches and scoop up nets, and that's something we don't have room for in this specific list. So I opted to go for 2 amazing rare Jirachi. That amazing rare Jirachi also pairs very well with the 2 copies of U-Turn Board. If the Pokemon with U-Turn Board gets knocked out or they use Tool Scrapper, it goes actually back to the hand, which is very, very useful. You can get your Jirachi out of the active position because this Jirachi does not fall asleep, and also your Cramorant has a 1 retreat cost, and your Arrakuda as well as the Wimpod, as well as the Dedenne. So U-Turn Board as well as Oricorio GX. U-Turn Board is fantastic in this list as a way of a pivot. So you don't have to worry about like, oh no, the Raichu and Alolan Raichu Tag Team GX will paralyze us and then we cannot retreat because we don't have physical copies of Switch. You don't have to worry about that at all because you most likely will get knocked out. All your Pokemon have a low amount of HP. So now that we covered all the Pokemon, like the Arrakuda, by the way, has a very significant attack. If you start with it, you can actually use its attack to get yourself 2 Arrakuda and place them on the bench with that Carless Energy requirement. So that is very nice. If you go second, you can use that attack. That's also the reason why we're running Capture Energy. So Capture Energy and Water type Energy. So sometimes when you have the opening phase of the game, you start with Arrakuda, it's not bad. You just equipped a Capture Energy, find another Arrakuda, then use the attack, and suddenly you have all your Arrakuda in play, which is awesome. The bad thing about this specific list is that, yeah, it's a little bit like Greninja, where some of your Frogadiers could be priced, like back in the days of Breakpoint, but This time around, your Arrakuda might be priced, so your damage output will be lower, but at least we have an alternate attacker in the form of Golisopod. So the capture energy, I do enjoy using that. You could also like give a capture energy to the Cramorant, find a Jirachi amazing rare, and retreat to it instantly if you have a terrible hand. That could be an option, so just to throw that out there. What else? So we covered the energy, so it's unfortunate that we don't have counter energy or double counter energy, otherwise we would have gotten like more one energy attachment. So like if you attach that 20 energy, it only requires like one attachment and then you can attack. So sometimes you need to use capture energy and just wait it out on the bench, and hopefully the opponent will not have the boss's orders to just knock you out, because afterwards you can just attach another energy, or you can go crazy with the Barraskewda. That's why we're also running 3 water type energies. Now for the trainer cards, very simple: 4 Great Ball, 2 Communications, and 4 Quick Ball. This will find you early phases like Dedenne if you need that, or Arrakudas, of course you need those, or as well as like sometimes the Communications could help out for the Barraskewda or the Golisopod eventually. So 4 Ordinary Rod will shuffle the Arrakudas back, but it could also be nice if your Jirachi amazing rare gets knocked out or your Golisopod, you can shuffle those back and reuse them. Same story for the Dedenne in the late game. If they knock out the Dedenne, he can use it again like in the late game. I don't suggest using lots of 2 prizers on your brands, but these are just a way you can draw a lot of cards. The Dedenne draws cards, Oricorio draws cards, Jirachi digs through the deck to find cards. So that's why we're having like, I suggest only having one of these bench hitters in play, because you do need room for 4 Arrakuda and a Cramorant. So in total that's 6 Pokemon, so you definitely need to worry about your bench space. Don't like use Jirachi, Oricorio, Dedenne, and otherwise your damage output is like way too low. Unless you rely on the sniping capabilities of Barraskewda, of course. Then 3 Pokemon catchers, do enjoy that gusting effect in this list, and then 1 Calyx Swell, making sure that we can get rid of some annoying cards like a Black Market Prism Star, for instance. Wondrous Labyrinth, also a very annoying one against this specific list. For supporters wise, 4 Research, 3 Marnie and 1 Erika's Hospitality. You might even go for 4 Marnie, but the Erika's Hospitality and a lot of decks will get you a lot of cards, and that's exactly what we need, because we need to draw those Arrakudas again, actually after we've used Ordinary Rod, so we can get them back in play. Then Nessa is like one of those turns where you already have the 20 energy in hand, already have another Cramorant set up, then you can just play down Nessa, get 4 Arrakuda, slap them down instantly, and you should be okay. So that could happen. Only 2 copies though. I wonder if we should include more and maybe rely on something like a Cinccino to draw yourself through the deck, but this is fine as it is. This is my early skeleton list for the Cramorant Rogue deck. We also have 3 Giant Bombs, very nice if they dish out a huge amount of damage. And as mentioned, Cramorant is weak against lightning, which means that if a Pikarom tries to attack you, they automatically get Giant Bombed, which is very nice. You can also one-hit KO a Pikarom, by the way. You slap 240 as a maximum damage, which is nice. If they whiff on their Big Charm, could be nice. And U-turn board, I already explained that. And the energy count is in total 10 energies. That's 3 capture energy, 4 twin, and 3 regular water type energies. The water type energies are able to recycle. We can get them back with Ordinary Rod, so as well as Nessa. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of Cramorant. I know it's not like tier 1 or maybe not even tier 2, but it's a very fun archetype, and this was highly suggested by you fellas. There's not a lot of crazy good archetypes coming out of Vivid Voltage, and we're gonna try and cover the new stuff. And unless you guys want to see the updated list, like an updated ADPization with Aegislash thrown in there, etc. But I'm a bigger fan of seeing the new archetypes. That's what I wanted to showcase first. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to demolish the like button as always. You know I always appreciate that. Subscribe for more content, and I'll be giving away a €5 coupon code for Card Market. This is for European players. This is the perfect platform to, of course, get yourself a €5 coupon code, and you can buy and sell cards on that platform. I personally use it every day. You can sell your cards that you don't need anymore. Look for the cards that you want. Cardmarket.com has it. So if you're the lucky person that actually got that €5 coupon code, be sure to let me know in the comment section and what you're gonna buy with that. Also check out my other sponsor, BoattownStore.com. They have everything you need for the online game. TCG online codes, from booster packs, from promo codes, from everything you might need, they have it. So definitely check out both of my sponsors. You'll help me out with that a lot. And with that, I'm gonna leave you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed the content. And thanks again for tuning in today. I'll see you guys in the next one very, very shortly. Peace out.